Welcome to
MasquerWave Radio. Your episode starts now.
Hello, you're listening to MasquerWave Radio. I'm Quinn Shannon, and today I get to sit down with Mrs. Manahan. Thank you so much for coming on today.
It is my pleasure. My pleasure to be with you today.
Alright, so knowing that you have a son that went here, what was your experience like as a Delbarton parent?
My experience as a Delbarton parent had to be a pretty good one because I still haven't left since he graduated in 2019. But I found some really great friends here that I still have to this day. So it wasn't just his experience, it was a little bit of mine too.
Yeah.
My husband also went here, so he was in 89. So I can say that when you come here as an outsider, I remember I was 19 years old when I stepped onto this campus, and I thought it was really odd that someone would want to take me to their high school campus to show me where they went to school. Kind of weird. But when I got here, I kind of started to figure it out. Jay's friends to this day are still as close to us as family from his class of 89. And I will say, when people say the long green line, it is officially real and not just some kind of,
saying.
It's not.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can honestly say the group of the 89s, we've been through an awful lot as grown-ups over 50, and we've all raised our kids together locally, so it's been a pretty amazing ride.
So what was like the compare and contrast, I guess, of your experience as a parent versus an employee?
Well, as a parent here, I had a lot less responsibility. I think there was probably a little bit of a tough transition going from parent to immediate employee, only because I think there were some parents still here that still looked at me at John's mom. So if I would deliver a message that, say, came from Father Michael about
it would be taken as
it wouldn't be taken seriously, and it also might be ignored. So I think that was some growth for me that I had to find my way, where I became less of John's mom and more of a Delbarton employee.
Okay. So going back to you as a parent, while you were a parent, you were the president of DMG, right?
So when they asked me to be the president of DMG, I actually laughed. I thought it was an April Fool's joke. I remember attending my first DMG meeting with Megan Berry, also parent 19, and I remember seeing the president and thinking, oh my gosh, that has to be the worst job on the entire planet. So glad they'll never ask me to do that. Fast forward.
Yeah.
I pulled in for my first meeting that day. I was teaching full-time at Assumption, which was there for 17 years, and I spilled an entire cup of coffee all over myself and had to present at my first meeting. So wasn't time to change, no time to go home, and I kind of just opened up the meeting and said, welcome to your perfectly imperfect Delbarton Mothers Guild president, which wasn't their norm. But I think in the end, it opened a door for a much more casual, realistic mom setting where you didn't have to feel as dressy and fancy and formal.
Yeah. So
everyone, I think, felt a little more encouraged to join if it was a little more laid back with a little bit of mistakes.
Yeah. So being the president, you obviously have to plan a lot of events. How did that help you go into your role now at Delbarton as the director of events and parent engagement?
It definitely helped. Oddly enough, I think my kindergarten gig actually helped even more. Planning events is mostly about respecting your volunteers, taking care of your people, managing with a soft voice and a calm tone, fixing mistakes they might make without even mentioning it, and just keeping a lot of things in order, which is kind of similar to your teaching life.
Yeah.
It's a schedule. It's planned. So anything I do that I give myself enough planning time, it seems to work out. I will say you also have to be able to pivot. Nothing is ever going to go the way you plan. So it's also important when you're planning events to realize something semi-catastrophic can happen 20 minutes before you're supposed to start. But if you smile and breathe and laugh about it,
work out.
98% of the people have no idea it ever happened.
All right. So with the gala coming up in February, obviously a very big event, and there's a bunch of other big events at Delbarton. Can you give us like a day-to-day life of what you do leading up to that?
So day-to-day life, well, that could start at probably 5 a.m. I'm up really early because a lot of my volunteers here obviously have day jobs on top of their volunteer jobs. So I like to make myself available to answer them before they walk into their office jobs. My day can consist of anything from feeding 4 teams and ordering 75,000 trays of Chick-fil-A at homecoming to fixing a million problems, pretending to be a therapist, maybe mediating an argument amongst my volunteers. I always joke it's kind of like I'm the minutia manager or the chaos coordinator. So I really can't give you a set itinerary. I try. And those meetings that I have set up are great, but a lot of times it falls apart, which again leads me back to you just have to be willing to go into your day knowing it probably won't go the same way you planned.
Okay.
One thing I would like to mention about the gala is the many hands that make light work. I'm kind of the silent, quiet one on the side that helps avoid issues. With my president, Luz Johnson, and her gala chairs, what they've created this year is nothing short of awesome. And my greatest joy in any of these galas is at the end being able to allow young men the opportunity to come here who would never have been given that opportunity. So it makes you work a lot harder to know that you can give someone something that you were able to give to your son with a lot of hard work. And I love when they come back and tell us all about what they're doing and how thankful they were and how much the experience affected them as people. So I just wanted to add that in there.
Okay. And you brought up the gala again. What is like the process of hosting that?
So the process of the gala is about a year long. We basically start each gala about a month after the other one finishes. So think about this. It's in February.
Wow. Yeah.
Buy your tickets.
So you're starting up again in March.
Shameless plug, buy your tickets. And you're starting again in March with a new president who will take over in May, who's now formulated her gala chairs. So it really is like planning a wedding every single year for the last 6 years that I've been here. It used to be a fashion show, and it has grown now into a community effort that includes husbands and families and basically anyone who wants to attend, including alumni.
Wow. All right. Kind of all we have for today.
All right. Well, hopefully I help shed some light on the crazy chaos involved in my day-to-day. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
And thank you for everyone who listened and tuned in to MasquerWave Radio.